way into Mercy Connections is a little bit different than the two ladies here. And mostly I just want to let you know, first of all, I'm very happy to be here, and I'm incredibly grateful for this Mercy Connections. In order for me to get my foot in the door, I had to go to prison first. Not my first choice. I come from generational trauma. I endured as a child horrible sexual abuse, unpronounced verbal trauma, and complex PTSD. So either I found trouble or trouble found me. But either way, when you're an adult and you break the law or break the rules, you don't get sent to your room. As an adult, you get sent to jail or prison. Now, I think when this was originally formulated, and I don't have a whole lot of time to talk about my experience in prison, probably that would be for another day. You know, there's a method to the madness. But I think now in 2022, we really need to take a look and revamp that whole thing. I couldn't figure out how I made it to prison. I had been a role model. I was the president of my nursing class, voted president of my nursing class. Again, not my choice, but that's what they chose. I was a semi-professional softball player. I had won the Leadership Scholarship Award. And when I came out of prison, I was completely broken. Excuse me. I felt unlovable. I was utterly embarrassed. And by the grace of Mercy Connections, a forgiving judge, and a program that's no longer with us, Northern Lights, they sincerely helped to save my life and give me a deservable second chance. Mercy Connections supported my growth. They empowered me, and they constantly reminded me that I'm not alone. You talk about sometimes when you're in a hole and somebody comes along and they're like, hey, definitely not going down there, good luck. You keep going, right? You're like, fine, I'm either gonna try to get out or I'm gonna keep digging myself a hole. Well, Mercy Connections is the type of organization that literally will get down into that hole with you, because they've already planned a way out. I was thinking in my head, oh my gosh, you're not gonna be able to get out. Now both of us are gonna be stuck there. So not true at all. I mean, this organization, so I was a part of the mentor program. I went through, at the time it seemed like a very lengthy process, pages of having to figure out who the heck you are and what you want in a mentor, or what it is that you feel like you need. Now, luckily, there are two very good people who do that. And again, there's a method to the madness. And I was connected to a woman who literally will be in my life for the rest of my life. Now, not once did anyone at Mercy Connections require me to tell my story. They literally didn't care. They saw this human being, and for the first time in my life, they gave me unconditional love. I'll tell you a little story. I wasn't going to, but I will. Why not? Screw it. My cards are messed up anyways. I'm flipping them, like trying to pretend like I'm following them, and I'm not. but we're okay. I still struggle with trying to talk about things that I need. It'll probably be a lifelong thing. I'll unpack it eventually when I go to therapy later. But right now, I had gone through the Northern Lights program, which is like this extraordinary program. I'm super bummed it's not around anymore. It literally is transformative. But, kind of like when you're young, it's like, oh, I can't wait to grow up. I can't wait to grow up, and I can't wait to move out. And then you move out, and you're like, oh, my God, now I have to, pay and do all these things about myself, and this is a horrible thing. I wish I had not grown up. Northern Lights is kind of like that. You got to go in. There's things you have to follow. There's steps. It was literally a program created for folks coming out of corrections to get back into life and be connected with the resources in the community. And I'm telling you, I just recently did a project. There is over 150 programs just in our area alone to help folks from food to housing to clothing to mental health, anything. It's beautiful. But anyways, so I graduated the program, and upon graduation, before really you can even graduate, you have to make sure that you're going to have safe, secure housing. So I nailed that, and I got it, but the pandemic started. So my anticipation grew and grew and grew because I didn't know how long I was going to be, trapped, but I was certainly not trapped. It was, I think the first time in my life I felt safe, really, honestly, truly, which is weird, but that's true. And anyway, so I got out, and I got into my apartment, and Thanksgiving was just a couple of months away. And I decided, well, it's just a day. It's just a day. I just kept telling myself that, only to remember how much love I had in my past. So I looked in my fridge. I didn't have much. I just told myself, it's just a day. I can make it through. It just so happened that Joanne and Kelly from Mercy Connections had reached out and said, hey, any chance you need some food? We've got some extra food. I'm like, I don't really have a way to go down there. No, I'm fine. They politely probably knew I was lying and reached out again. And I said, yeah, sure, And they're like, oh, great, we'll find a way to get it to you. And so, they said, oh, we dropped a delivery. I open up the door, and nothing is there. I'm like, the shoe dropped. You guys were kidding me. What the heck? I hate it this happens. Well, that's not what happened. Literally, somebody had dropped it at the back door, so I hustled through, some snow and some cold, and found this beautiful package and this beautiful little letter that was written specifically to me. And I brought the food in. And I sat there, and I just remembered how grateful I was for all that this Mercy Connections had provided me, that I was now in my own place. I was literally just gifted food so that I could eat because I deserved to eat. I deserve to be loved. I deserve so many things. And Mercy Connections and a lot of the women there have reminded me of exactly that. And so while, I am one that tends to talk about the elephant in the room, I will do that. This is a fundraising event, and I just want to tell you, or not even tell you, I just want to say how important this program is for me, and that I know that there are so many other people that could benefit from this. I was super bummed to hear when Northern Lights was closing, and I thought in my head, gosh, there's got to be other things. There's not a whole lot of stuff for women, and this program saved my life. And I mean, legitimately. And so I just ask that, keep Mercy Connections booming. Please, I'm honored to be here with these women and talking and telling our stories. And, I just am mad that I don't have my cards because I can't remember how I'm supposed to close this. But there you go. Thank you.